What's up guys, it's Julia. I'm a pre and postnatal fitness trainer, and in this video I want to talk about some of the most common myths surrounding pregnancy fitness. Things you might have heard of and believed, but are they really true? Let's find out. There is a lot of fear surrounding pregnancy exercise. You may be pregnant or wanting to be, and you may think to yourself, what type of exercises can I do? Can I start something new? Is it safe? Will it harm the baby? These are all very legitimate questions. In the not so distant past, women were urged to cut down or even avoid exercising during pregnancy completely. Since then, scientific research has completely turned this notion around. Exercising during and beyond pregnancy is something to be promoted, and that brings many health benefits to both the mother and the baby. And this is why in this video I will share with you 7 of the most common misconceptions surrounding pregnancy fitness and why they are in fact myths. At number 1, we have the notion that you should avoid abdominal work as it can harm your baby. While it is true that crunch-like exercises should be avoided during the later stages of pregnancy and in the first 6 to 8 weeks postpartum, longer if you've had a C-section, there is a wide range of core strengthening exercises you can do that will pose no harm to your baby and that will actually prepare you for delivery and that will help you tone up afterwards. These are quadrupedal exercises, rotational exercises, and planks, which are all good options for improved stability and strength. A robust core, meaning the rectus, the abdomen, and the obliques, will literally help you push the baby out. So quite frankly, it seems foolish to not train your core. Something else you definitely shouldn't avoid are your pelvic floor exercises. If you want to know more, leave me a comment in the section below and I can make a more detailed video about pelvic floor training in pre and postpartum. And number 2, if you didn't exercise before pregnancy, don't start during. The way I see it, any time is the right time to start exercising. Being pregnant doesn't really make picking up physical activity any different than it would be for someone who isn't pregnant, other than in the later stages when extra caution should be taken. There is of course a safe way to do this. Let's say you want to start lifting weights. You wouldn't start by putting up 70 kilograms on your back, or maybe you want to start picking up running. You wouldn't start with a 10K run. Simply put, start with the basics, focus on quality over quantity, prioritize technique and an appropriate warm-up. Not sure how to go about it? Ask a fitness trainer, or even better, a pre and postnatal fitness specialist. Number 3, avoid lifting weights. If you were lifting before getting pregnant, keep doing so. Just be mindful of the pressure you apply on your pelvis and lower back, especially during the later stages. As alternatives, you can switch to exercises that isolate the muscles rather than sticking to complex movements such as barbell squats or deadlifts. You will also want to drop the weight, reduce your range of motion to accommodate your growing belly, and focus on technique. Picking up Pilates and doing a little extra pelvic floor training is a great way to compensate for the exercises you are no longer doing. On the other hand, if you are just getting started with weightlifting, do so slowly. I highly recommend getting help from a fitness trainer to ensure you're learning proper technique and lifting the amount of weight that is right for you. Moving on to number 4, the supine position or laying on your back is off limits. It is generally advised to avoid laying on your back, especially during the later stages of pregnancy. This is because in a supine position, the weight of the baby can push down on your stomach and obstruct the inferior part of the vena cava, resulting in limited circulation back to the heart. 2 factors should be discussed here. If you are indeed obstructing the vena cava, your body will send you some signals. So if you want to perform an exercise that requires you to be laying on your back, just avoid being in that position for longer than 60 seconds and you'll be fine. Again, your body will tell you if something isn't right. Also, all exercises that are normally performed in a supine position can be modified to fit the pregnant body. For example, if you want to perform a dumbbell bench press, you may want to change it to an elevated bench to accommodate your current physical state. And number 5, you cannot do high impact exercises such as running. While pregnancy is not the time to break any performance records, running during your pregnancy is possible as long as you're healthy and you're feeling okay doing it. You will probably realize that you can do a little less as the weeks go by, and you will find that running, skipping, jumping during the 3rd trimester doesn't feel so good. On the other hand, running in the postpartum period is certainly possible as long as you've had appropriate recovery. Strengthening the pelvic floor, the core, and the glute areas before you get back into running is essential. I also recommend that you start by walking and progress that up until you reach a slow jog. If you're feeling well, keep increasing durations and/or intensity. At number 6, you must keep your heart rate under 130 BPMs. Frankly, this notion was never really based on any concrete results. The effort versus heart rate pendulum really depends on your level of fitness as well as your levels of fatigue on a given day. However, it is true that high intensity exercise, or what we consider zone 4 or 5 training, should be avoided during pregnancy. What most trainers now rely on is the RPE scale, which is a much more subjective way of determining exercise intensity. During pregnancy, you want to stay around an RPE of 5 to 6, and that can be maintained for a long period of time, or 7 to 8 for intervals of maximum 30 seconds. And at number 7, and also the final misconception for today, is that if you feel any type of discomfort or pain, you need to stop exercising and avoid it for the rest of the pregnancy. So here, what happens with many women is that they feel lower back pain or pelvic discomfort, which are very common during pregnancy, and they immediately stop exercising. With common pregnancy issues such as these, sitting and doing nothing is actually counterproductive. Exercises such as walking, weightlifting, or Pilates can actually help alleviate the pain. You may want to decrease range of motion or change your stance for certain exercises and ensure that your glute and core are properly activated, but this will cause no harm. On the other hand, if you're feeling dizzy, lightheaded, nauseous, maybe you didn't eat enough that day, or you push yourself too hard, if this happens, you should definitely take a break and rest. Or even worse, if you're experiencing bleeding and maybe you are suffering from serious contraindications that was diagnosed by your doctor, now these are valid reasons to stop exercising. And that's it for this video. I hope that dismantling these pregnancy exercise myths makes you feel more comfortable and more confident in staying active during your pregnancy. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that I can make more videos like this one and keep growing the channel. See you soon.